Hey there, fellow zombie enthusiasts. Welcome to the Drunken Zombies Podcast. I'm Adrian, your host for all things undead.
And I'm Julia.
Get ready for daily doses of addictive zombie stories, served up with a side of humor and a whole lot of suspense.
We're here to keep you craving more tales of brains and mayhem.
Each day we'll be exploring a new story, so make sure to rate and follow the Drunken Zombies Podcast for your daily fix of zombie goodness.
We'll see you on the next episode.
All right, so you've given us this story about a troupe of Shakespearean actors trying to survive a zombie apocalypse.
And it's fascinating how the author has chosen to blend classic literature with this genre.
Yeah, it's not your typical zombie survival story.
Exactly. Instead of focusing on brute force or weaponry, the author has made the actor's artistry their weapon.
That's a really interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the author's trying to say by making creativity the key to survival in this chaotic world?
Well, the story starts in the Regal Theater, right? Typically a place of entertainment, but in this world, it's become a training ground for survival.
Right, and their leader, Julian, this charismatic figure with unruly hair and passionate eyes, he gives this speech about using their craft for survival.
It's almost like the author is drawing a parallel between the stage and the world they're living in now.
Like their acting skills, their ability to transform themselves, is just as important as any physical skill.
Precisely. They use makeup, costumes, they even practice their zombie shuffles and groans, just like they would rehearse for a play.
And it's not just mindless mimicking. They're applying their knowledge of sets and blocking to navigate the city.
Their escape from the Regal Theater is a great example. They treat a narrow alleyway like it's their stage entrance, staying in character even when a zombie gets too close.
We see Clara using her comedic timing to deter a zombie
Mm-hmm.
with an improvised moan. It's a brilliant blend of humor and horror.
Absolutely. And then there's the scene where they use a ringing cell phone as a distraction. It's like a carefully planned plot twist in a play, but with life or death consequences.
It's amazing how they adapt, shifting from this slow, methodical escape to a frantic, adrenaline-fueled chase through the city.
It shows their versatility, not just as performers, but as survivors, drawing on their training and instincts.
They eventually make it out of the city, exhausted but alive, and their journey takes them to a university rumored to be a haven for survivors.
And this is where we meet Dr. Elena Martinez, a virologist who is working on a cure.
This encounter is a turning point, don't you think? It introduces hope into their bleak world.
Absolutely. It shifts the story's focus. It's no longer just about surviving the night. It's about finding a permanent solution to the zombie plague.
But there's a catch. Elena needs a crucial component for the cure, and it's located back in the heart of that zombie-infested city.
And of course, our intrepid actors volunteer for this dangerous mission.
They could have stayed safe at the university, but they choose to risk their lives for the sake of others.
It's a really interesting choice. What do you think it says about these characters?
Well, on one level, it shows their bravery, their selflessness, but I also think it goes deeper than that.
I agree with you there. It's like the author is highlighting the inherent empathy and compassion that artists often possess.
Their art, their ability to understand and portray human emotions makes them more sensitive to the suffering around them.
And perhaps more willing to take risks to alleviate that suffering.
So this second venture into the city, it's not just a repeat of their escape.
Definitely. Now they're more strategic, more coordinated, using their skills to actively outsmart the undead.
They stage distractions, they lure zombies away, they even use their voices and movements as weapons.
They've become masters of their craft, turning their theatrical training into survival skills.
And along the way, they encounter Michael, a former firefighter who was surviving on his own.
His addition to the group brings a new dynamic.
He has practical knowledge, survival experience, and a fresh perspective that proves invaluable.
It highlights the importance of collaboration and how uniting people with different skill sets can lead to greater strength.
The story really emphasizes that idea of teamwork throughout.
It does, and I think it speaks to our own need for connection and collaboration in challenging times.
Their assault on the medical research facility to retrieve the cure component is a great example of this teamwork in action.
It's like a scene from a heist movie. Each member of the group plays a crucial role.
You have the synchronized distractions, the stealthy infiltration, the split-second timing. It's incredibly well choreographed.
And it works. They manage to get the component, but there's a tragic consequence.
Thomas, their veteran actor, gets bitten during the escape.
It's a heartbreaking reminder that even the most skilled and resourceful survivors aren't immune to the dangers of this world.
His sacrifice weighs heavily on the group, but it also fuels their determination to honor his memory by completing their mission.
Their final act, broadcasting the cure from a radio station, becomes both a tribute to their resilience and a beacon of hope for the future.
It's a powerful scene, full of symbolism.
Julian's voice, reaching out through the airwaves, becomes a symbol of defiance, a rallying cry for humanity.
It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always hope, and that even the smallest actions can have a ripple effect.
The transformation of the undead as the cure takes hold is equally symbolic.
It's a slow, gradual process, but it represents the possibility of healing, both physically and emotionally. The city, too, begins to heal, mirroring the transformation of its inhabitants.
It's a visual representation of the gradual return to normalcy, the rebuilding of a world shattered by the apocalypse.
And as dawn breaks over the city, we see Julian and his troops standing amidst the ruins, survivors of a journey that has tested their limits.
They've lost so much, yet they've also gained something profound. A sense of purpose, a bond forged in fire, and the knowledge that they made a difference.
They've gone from actors playing roles to heroes shaping their own destiny.
Their story really is quite something.
It is. It's a reminder that even in a world overrun by zombies, the human spirit can endure, adapt, and ultimately prevail.
And that even in those darkest of times, we can find strength in unexpected places.
We've covered a lot of ground already, but I think it's worth taking a moment to reflect on this idea of unexpected strengths.
Absolutely. What talents or skills do we possess that could be our secret weapon in the face of unexpected challenges?
It's a question we can all ask ourselves, and perhaps find inspiration in the resourcefulness and creativity of these Shakespearean survivors.
Their story reminds us that sometimes the most unexpected abilities can become our greatest strengths, and that even when facing the undead, the show must go on.
Well said. And on that note, let's take a quick break.
We'll be back with more bite-sized zombie tales after these messages. It's remarkable how the author uses the idea of performance throughout the story.
It's not just about the actors literally performing to distract zombies. It's woven into the very fabric of their survival.
Right from the beginning, they're forced to perform a new role, the role of survivors in a zombie apocalypse.
And their understanding of character motivation, their ability to embody a role, that's what helps them adapt to this new reality.
Think about their journey to the university. They're physically and emotionally exhausted from their escape from the city.
But they keep going, driven by this hope of finding a cure, a safe haven.
It's like they're drawing on the resilience of the characters they've played in the past, channeling that inner strength.
And when they meet Dr. Martinez and learn about the cure component that needs to be retrieved from the city, it's almost like a call to action for them.
They're presented with a new challenge, a new role to play in this larger narrative.
And it's fascinating how the author uses their acting skills to solve problems that wouldn't traditionally be solved with theatrics.
For instance, when they encounter a horde of zombies blocking their path, they don't just fight their way through.
They stage a distraction, using their voices and movements to lure the zombies away.
It's a brilliant example of how their artistic training becomes a practical survival skill.
And it's not just about individual skills either.
Right, the story really emphasizes the importance of teamwork and collaboration.
Each member of the troupe brings their unique strengths to the group, and they learn to work together to overcome obstacles.
The addition of Michael, the firefighter, is a great example of this.
He's not an actor, but his practical knowledge and survival experience prove invaluable to the group.
It highlights the idea that diversity and collaboration are essential for success, especially in challenging situations.
Their assault on the medical research facility is another great example of their teamwork.
Each member has a specific role to play, and they execute their plan with precision.
It's a high-stakes operation with life-or-death consequences, and they rely on each other completely.
And of course, there's the heartbreaking loss of Thomas during their escape.
His death is a stark reminder of the dangers they face, but it also strengthens their resolve.
They're determined to honor his sacrifice by completing their mission and bringing the cure to the world.
Their final act, broadcasting the cure from the radio station, is a culmination of all their efforts.
It's a powerful moment that symbolizes hope and resilience.
Julian's voice broadcasting the cure is like a beacon of light cutting through the darkness.
It's a message of defiance and a reminder that even in a world overrun by zombies, humanity can fight back.
And the transformation of the undead as the cure spreads is equally symbolic.
It's a slow and gradual process, but it represents the possibility of healing and renewal.
The city itself begins to heal, mirroring the transformation of its inhabitants.
It's a visual representation of the gradual return to normalcy, the rebuilding of a world shattered by the apocalypse.
And in the end, we see Julian and his troops standing amidst the ruins, survivors of a journey that has tested them to their limits.
They've lost so much, but they've also gained something profound.
A sense of purpose, a bond forged in shared adversity, and the knowledge that they made a difference.
Their story is a powerful reminder that even in the face of unimaginable challenges, the human spirit can endure, adapt, and ultimately triumph.
And that even in a world filled with zombies, there's still room for hope, creativity, and the power of human connection.
What I find particularly intriguing is how the author subverts our expectations of a typical zombie narrative.
How so?
Well, we often associate zombie stories with themes of despair and the breakdown of society.
The classic image of the lone survivor scavenging for resources in a desolate wasteland.
Exactly. But this story offers a different perspective.
It's not just about survival, it's about rebuilding community, finding hope, and using creativity as a weapon.
The characters aren't just fighting for their own lives, they're fighting for a better future for humanity.
And they do it by embracing their artistic talents, by working together, and by refusing to give up hope.
It's a refreshing take on the genre, and I think it offers a valuable message for our own times.
What do you think the author's trying to say about the role of art and creativity in a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain?
That's a great question. I think the story suggests that art can be more than just entertainment.
It can be a source of strength, a way to connect with others, and a tool for problem solving.
The characters in this story use their artistic skills to distract zombies, to plan strategies, and to boost morale.
They find solace and purpose in their art, even amidst the chaos of the apocalypse.
I think the author is reminding us that creativity and imagination are essential human qualities.
They can help us navigate difficult times, connect with others, and find meaning in our lives.
And they can even help us survive a zombie apocalypse.
Maybe that's the ultimate message of this story. That even in the face of the undead, the show must go on.
It's remarkable how this story manages to be both entertaining and thought-provoking.
It's a testament to the author's skill that they can weave these deeper themes into a fast-paced zombie thriller.
It's not just about the gore and the action,
Right.
though those elements are certainly present.
Right.
It's about the characters, their relationships, their struggles, and ultimately their triumph over adversity.
And it's all told through this unique lens of Shakespearean drama.
Which adds this whole other layer of meaning to the story.
Exactly. The use of theatrical metaphors, the emphasis on performance, the characters' backgrounds as actors, it all comes together to create something truly special.
I think it's safe to say we're both impressed with this story.
Absolutely. It's a fresh take on the zombie genre, and it's left me with a lot to think about.
Me too. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, art and creativity can be powerful forces for good.
And that even when facing unimaginable challenges, the human spirit can find a way to shine through.
Well, folks, that about wraps up our discussion on this Shakespearean zombie tale.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Drunken Zombies Podcast.
If you did, be sure to rate and follow us for more bite-sized zombie tales delivered daily.
Until next time, keep those brains sharp.
And remember, even in a zombie apocalypse,
The show must go on.